All right, guys, let's talk some spoilers, guys. We got new season coming around the corner with new cards. What have we got first? We got a really interesting card here. I really like this design. I'm nervous, but it's the right direction. Design-wise, feel good. I gotta acknowledge that how scarred I am from orbs on ladder has left me very nervous about Syndicate spoiler or Scoia'tael spoilers these days. Makes me nervous when I look at a card. I'm like, that might be good, that might not be good. But as a design, I like this card. So what do we got here? We got Filavandrel. I'm just gonna call him Vandrol. There are Filavandrel. So Filavandrel is a 4 for 12 that does the following. Melee. Create or play a Scoia'tael special card with a provision cost equal to this unit's power. So I can play him again a 4 Scoia'tael special card. If he's 6, I get a 6 provision special card, so on. The ranged is the backup if you really mess up. Create and play a Scoia'tael special card with a provision cost equal or lower to this unit's power. So this basically says if you accidentally buff him to a 14, Filavandrel, if you put him on back row, can randomly get one of the different cards. You will always be able to generate a special as long as you have room on the ranged row for shows them in the Netflix series. Interesting. So now let's go ahead, pop over the Gwent really fast. Badoo. Whoops, I'm not in deck builder anymore. To the deck builder. We must see what special cards exist. For the Scoia'tael. Not crafting. Card type. Special. Sweet. So this is actually, I think, a really good card for Handbuff. So first, I don't think you're going to be running him for the 4 provision. He's just not, none of these 4 provision cards are particularly strong or enabling enough to really justify it. Kind of like, you could run him as a really bad, like, Telekinesis for making a bomb, but it's even not even guaranteed. Run, like, Maddock on the deck. 5 is more interesting. Better card choices. And you have a lot of control there. I think it's when you get into 6, 8s, and higher that where things get really spicy. Now, the good news is, I think getting higher is not too bad. So if you get to 6, you get 6 points. So that's kind of like a 2xing what you double on them, but at a higher price. You got to be thinking, when I'm thinking, if I'm thinking Skags, I'm thinking a Glaze. How can I get more than 2 points for every point buffed on them? Because the Glaze will double every buff on her. So she's kind of set in the bar here. Skags also does the same thing as damage, but if your opponent doesn't have any tall units, it doesn't go very far. When I'm looking for, when I'm thinking about Filavandrel, is how can I get more value than 2xing my points that I buff on them? So, Orb is an option. But Orb is indeed an option. The ones that stand out are Novigrad and Justice, 9 for Shaping Nature, or even Savov, and Isengrim. I think the higher tier ones are good. Is it good enough? It will be really interesting. Like, imagine double casting Novigrad and Justice. Like, that's really strong. Triple casting it off Francesca is also an option too. So play it Novigrad. Yeah, you can get basically a copy off Vandrol. You can get a copy off Francesca and play it normally. You can also do things like Isengrim. What kind of deck buffs are there? So that's the other approach. So Handbuff is where my mind immediately goes, Granok. But you can also use Isengrim to guarantee another copy of Orb. You can do All God Isengrim to guarantee a copy of Isengrim. You can do stuff like that to really go far. I also think Android Subculture, you have a correct read. There's going to be some more Scoia'tael specials for him. There's no way they're going to dump this special generating card in a moment where it's a Monday morning. Be kind. Where you're going to make a special generating card and not spoil some specials tomorrow to go alongside him. I think he's interesting. Do I think he's going to be broken? Probably not. But I will say the special cards for Syndicate are getting, or Scoia'tael are getting very, very strong with stuff like Orb, Isengrim. I think triple Waters Harmony is not, it is possible, but no, I don't think OP. The thing that'll keep him back is the 12 here. And we'll see. I'm so nervous. I'm glad they're starting him as a 12 because I don't want him to be broken. I don't want to deal with more spells, Scoia'tael. Oh, new family member, Infernus. Welcome to the Playing Talk fam. I'm glad you're joining us here today as we hack into the database so we can steal the nuclear codes. Welcome aboard. Like what you see. Check out the YouTube, Discord, Twitter. Welcome to the family, my friend. So I'm glad they're starting at a 12. It's a good design, though, also, because it bridges hand buffing and spells. It also bridges manipulating cards in your deck and buffing them in spells. It can also reward you by making him your only elf and using Ease and Grim to guarantee the 6, which lets you play special cards like Bountiful Harvest. There is at least one. I'm thinking the gold one will probably be a special card as well. So Bountiful Harvest, create and play a bronze Dol Blathanna elf, depending on the position of chosen unit, which is a cool design space. Boost the leftmost random or rightmost unit in your hand by 2. So let's think about it, right? So what it's saying is you're going to pick 3 options. They're all going to be Dol Blathanna elves. Going over to here, Dol. So you get 3 of these 6. And then if you pick the leftmost option, it'll buff the leftmost card in your hand, rightmost. And then if you pick one in the middle one, and then it'll randomly do it. I love this card. This card is a great design. Makes me nervous, and it's nature too, which is good. Anything that's not a spell makes me feel happy right now. So, I'm still nervous. I confess, I'm still tilted after how good spell Scoia'tael is. But this design is, the design itself is brilliant. It's nature, it's hand buffing, and hand buffing of new ways of control interacting with the crate itself. And there's enough Dol Blathanna elves that you probably get one of the good ones, but not guaranteed to get Whisper every time, which is so important, right? So there's 4 bad ones you're pretty much trying to miss. Your Dol Blathanna Bowman's okay, Bomber's okay, pretty much guaranteed a 6 for 4 minimum. Sentry and Archer's a 7 for 5 or 7, and Nature. So like these 3 are pretty okay. These are the best. This is pretty good. These 3 are fine. You're never gonna really get a bad one. Definitely the Whisperer and Sorceress are the ones what you're looking for here. But it works with hand buff, and that's fascinating. You can also run a deck, you just run it with hand buff, trying to get archers and damage, control the field while you buff up a glace. Very viable. Or like not viable, like a viable idea. How strong it is depends on numbers. So I ultimately really like this card. I think it's a great design. It's really so good for the future of hand buffing to have more control instead of just like Hawker Smuggler and Dunka's going YOLO. But I guess still tilted, still hurting from the orbs. So I'm still really nervous. I don't know if it'll see play Exoskeleton. I've concluded a lot of Ives there, but Scoia'tael spells is without a doubt the hardest deck to evaluate. Everyone except Specimen Gwent looked at Orb, and when it came out and said this card really isn't that good, I don't think Bountiful Harvest is broken. I think it's going to be fine, but it makes me nervous no less. Because, like, there was a good amount of times it'll play for 6 or 7 points, and then you get another 2 on top of that from the buff. Well, there's a good chance it's a good card. Because if you get Archer, which is like an okay roll, not Sorceress, not Whisper, which can be insane. It's like 7 points, plus you get 2 buffed in your hands. It's a 9 for 6 on a bronze. It's Berengar, 10 for 6 if you have a Symbiosis. Yeah, this is probably pretty good. I think it is actually going to be a decent card. Broken? No. As good as Orb? No. Good card? Probably. Okay, Lionheart also thought they were good. Good to see your Airhorn Sound. Pharaoh 1, good to see you as well. Tournament, if you are interested in the meme tournament, it is adjusted to your time. Just type in the exclamation point tournament. It should tell you. On my time, it's 11 a.m. EDT Friday. But with that said, you can just check the Plague One website. It should update it to your time zone when you log in. Anyways, good card. I don't know if it's broken. And especially in these kind of like high bar, high power, you have to be really strong to even qualify in the meta. I like it. Final card, the Mushy Truffle. I love this card. This card makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside on a lot of levels. I'm glad this exists. Location and resilience. Deploy, spawn, and play a bonded unit from your starting deck. And then order, spawn, and play a Golden Froth. Obvious implications here is for the Crow Clan Preachers. Now, 4 provisions, so it's easy to run 2 of them. And you can make a 3rd copy here, a 4th copy off Getty. They have some of the best bonded abilities in the game by going +2 for every alchemy you play instead of +1. And Order Spawn creates an alchemy card. Golden Froth is a 6-point card, buffing 3 units by 2. That is, in fact, an alchemy. Also, it's a location, so you can turn it into verification. It's super good. I don't know if it's broken, but this card makes me warm and fuzzy. It's also neutral, so I get to play with it a lot of cool things. Also really interesting with things like Vandrel, because Dwim comes down as a 4 for 5, resetting the ability of a location. And this is the highest point location there is now. It's 6. So Dwim can play very easily as a 9 for 5. Also works with Getty as a 9 for 5. That's much more playable, which is really, really cool. This makes me super happy when I see this. Who's going to play this besides Skellige, Preschool Girl? I'm going to play this of all kinds of stuff. Do I know where I can go with this? I don't know. I'm going to find out. We should take a quick little meander, though, through the bonded units real fast. The main story, welcome to the Playing Talk family. I'm glad you joined us here today as we learn how to train a cat to play fetch. Welcome aboard. If you like what you see, go ahead and check out the YouTube, Discord, and Twitter. And my friend, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Let's keep going. Kalino Harpy is another good bonded unit that's actually really strong. You can play it as a location, spawning 5 consume, and spawn a Harpy egg off it. That's really good. Pikeman spam is hilarious. Cut-up's always been low-key, pretty okay. I don't know if it's going to be enough to push it to the point where you can run 2 cut-ups, to that plus the Horse on Senior, but it's interesting. This is the obvious choice because it works off the alchemy. The alchemy enables it. These can make an 8 for 4, help you have another 8 for 4 target, but it's so-so on the Moccom, so-so on the Magni Division. I think the standouts, Jackpot could be really interesting, Profit 5. Yes, you can do things with PFI. I think Kalino Harpy actually is another standout. I think it's Croclan is the obvious one. Kalino Harpy is low-key, probably pretty good. PFI plus Rofcon, nice. Yes, easy setup there. Sell a no harmy. Sell a no harmy? Okay, sell a no harmy. Got it, Exoskeleton. Harpy here. It's also, I think, a better target as well. Can also repair things with Horse on Senior and Cut Up Blackies. I think it's going to be fun. I can't wait to play with it. This is my kind of a card, and this made me really happy. When I read it, I saw it, I was just like, you know what? I want to go to the Mushy Truffle. Like, doesn't this look like the place to be? Makes me happy. This could literally be me pulling out my guitar. Love it. Drinks in the air. Everyone looks like they're having a good time, except for the guy vomiting in the corner from drinking too much. There's like even a cat. There's even a cat. That's how you know. It's an excellent thing. Yes, Aaron Son, you're absolutely right. Seductress bonded is not a big deal though, Exoskeleton. It's only a +1 a turn. And it only works for specials instead of just units. The fact that Passive Floor Peaches goes +1 a turn for being 4 provision means Seductress is like, so-so at best. I think you're looking at the Seleno Harpies. This Exoskeleton is pointing out. Seleno Harpies, Procran Preacher, and potentially the Cut Up Blackies. What is Golden Froth? Might as well do a reminder then. For people who don't know about the legendary Golden Froth, it's a 6 for 4 alchemy. Boost 3 adjacent units by 2 for 4. Pet the Ghost, welcome to the Playing Talk family. I'm glad you joined us here today as we hope to draw Exodia off the top of our deck. Welcome aboard. And I think we have another family member coming in hot. Yep. Jay's there. Knowles. Welcome to the Playing Talk family. I've definitely botched your name, but I'm glad you joined us here negotiating with the dwarves for a good price on iron ore. Welcome, both of you. Like what you see, check out the YouTube, Discord, and Twitter. And my friends, welcome to the family. So, that is where we're at. So, all in all, I like the new spoilers. I will say, again, I am still scarred by what Scoia'tael got last time. So I'm really, swapping over to this view. Still really nervous about these. I think Bountiful Harvest looks pretty good. I think I'm glad they're starting this at 12. If it goes to 11 in the future, I probably will be okay with it. But Filavandrel, I think it's good. And also, these 2 cards make me really optimistic about the future of Handbuff, because this gives you more interesting control about hand buffing and more interesting decision making of creating cards. I hope they take the concept of this style of card to other factions. Can you imagine creating a card, like create a warrior, depending on which one you pick, left, middle, or center, damage the lowest enemy unit by 1, damage the highest one by 1, or damage random unit by 1, help enable Bloodthirst, or stuff like that. Really, really like that. And then there's Mushy Truffle, which is beautiful. It screams creative design, screams to me a card that I want in this game that seems interesting. And also, I didn't mention it, one of the most powerful cards to play as a throwaway card. So let's say I know my opponent is going to pass at 6, and I just want to play a card and potentially bleed in round 2. I can play the Mushy Truffle, spawn a bonded unit, and carry over 6 points. Also really good as just Round 2, my opponent dry passes. I play the Mushy Truffle. I play a random bonded unit from my deck. Carry over the Golden Froth for +6 and potentially more alchemy plays. Immediately enabling Crow Mother to come back guaranteed for 10. That's really strong. I really like Mushy Truffle. I can't wait to play with it. God, I hope that isn't broken. But we'll see. We'll see. I really like it. And by the way, guys, let me know what you guys think. Chat's been doing a good job here. Probably going to post this on YouTube. So if YouTube fam, let me know down below which card of these cards are you most excited about. I'll see you all soon. Shout out to Pseudoname81, McRandar, and Ahmed Ali for all their generous support on the Patreon.